welcome to our kitchen. I'm Gordy Belusha.
I'm Nancy Ostrash.
And this is our 282nd program. And today is probably a good day to celebrate this day, but anyway, today we're going to be making pasta with sausage and apples and a party brownie. And so we're going to start out with, you want me to start, Nancy, or do you want?
No, I will
okay,
explain
we're going to start
that.
with Nancy cooking the sausage.
Whoopee!
Yeah, woo!
All right, if you're wondering what, first of all, she's green and I'm blue today. Well, I didn't realize too late that my green apron had to be washed. So that's why I reverted back to the old one. My pasta with sausage, apple, and Gorgonzola cheese, which I didn't mention in the beginning, is a skillet meal. And right now I am browning a pound of sweet Italian sausage. I was able to find some that weren't in the casing, so I didn't have to take them out of the casing. But if you buy it with the sausage in the casing, then you take them out, and so you can crumble it up while you're browning it. This is a recipe that I found. If you get the Weekender paper, local paper, you have a little magazine called The Parade, and they have either recipes and articles and stuff. Well, this was in an article titled Noodles or something like that, and this particular recipe is from Giada De Laurentiis of the Food Channel. So we'll see how good it is, because I haven't made it before, which is, tell you a secret, a lot of the things I do on the show I've never made before, and 99% of the time they're fine. So I am browning the 1 pound of Italian sausage, and while that is happening, I will turn it back to Gordy.
Today I'm going to make a party brownie. It's very quick and easy, and if you need a quick dessert when you're having a party or unexpected guests, this would be a good recipe to make. I always use Duncan Hines. I don't know why. I've been using this label, this Duncan Hines, all their chocolate, all their cake mixes and brownies and everything for I don't know how many years, and they've never let me down, so I'm going to keep using them. In my bowl, I have a box of chewy fudge brownies and 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of oil, and 1/2 cup of water. And I'm going to mix them all up. It doesn't take very long to make these. When they cool down, I will frost them. See if the bottom still needs mixing. Make sure you have it all mixed together in the bottom. Okay. That looks pretty good. So we'll put it in a pan. And these will bake in a 350-degree oven for about 27 to 30 minutes. Just keep your eye on them. They don't get overdone. Okay, spread it out in your pan. Okay, I'm going to whack this on the counter. Okay, and you bake it in a 350-degree oven for 27 to 30 minutes. Ow, that's hot. Okay, back to Nancy.
Okay, back to me and my sausage. I did make a few adjustments to the recipe. One of them was, well, first of all, I did put a little tablespoon or so of olive oil in the pan before I started browning the sausage. And now that that is all browned, and I put some salt and pepper to taste, I'm going to add small onion chopped, sliced chopped, and it calls for a red onion, which I am using my sweet onion at this point. But the recipe says a small red onion sliced. And we're going to add that to the sausage, the onions. And we have to cook them down for a few minutes. Meanwhile, or ahead of time, I cooked up the pasta I'm going to use, and it called for a pound. And a pound to me is an awful lot of when the pasta is cooked. So I cooked about a half a pound of the tube type pastas, either cavatelli, it said, or ziti. Well, I happen to I'm using ziti. And so you boil that down. So it's a little al dente, or not quite thoroughly cooked, because we're going to be cooking it some more in this recipe. I also, I'm waiting to let that cook down. In this container here, I have sliced 2 apples and suggested Golden Delicious or Honey Crisp. This is Honey Crisp, and this worked out well because I did it ahead of time. Is I put water and lemon juice to keep them from getting brown. So it did work out in this case, that they're still look pretty good. So now with your pasta, when you drain it, save a cup of the pasta water. And now, if the onion is cooked down, it could cook a little bit longer, but we'll get on with the recipe. I'm going to add my apples. Maybe I will drain some of them right behind me. These were 2 good size apples, so I may not use them all. They're sliced thin. I did not peel them. We will break now to let this cook down some more, soften the apples and the onions, and we'll be back. Okay, I think my apples have cooked down pretty good, and of course the onion in there. I'm going to add the pasta now, and the recipe said, and I said in the beginning, a pound of pasta, and I cooked about a half a pound. And this is half of the drained half pound, and I still think that's plenty of pasta. I think that's enough. So sometimes you adjust your recipe to what you're comfortable with. So one of the things I'm comfortable with is adjusting the amount of pasta first. And I told you we were going to save a cup of the pasta water, which I'm going to add now, because I'm going to add some spinach. But the recipe calls for 2 heaping cups of arugula. Well, I don't like arugula. So I am substituting spinach. Now this is going to cook down. So I'm going to break again, and let's get this all mixed in and get the spinach softened and blended into the recipe. So when this is done, I'll be back.
Thank you. I'm back to make the frosting for my brownies. In my bowl here, I have a box of confectionery sugar. I have a stick of butter and 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder and a pinch of salt, and I'm going to just mix it together, hopefully. Need to add a little bit of more milk in here. I don't have it on the floor. Okay. I better put the cover back on here or this will be on the floor. Okay, my brownies. As I said before, this is a good, quick dessert recipe if you're going to have company or if you have unexpected company and you need a quick one. This is not bad. This will do in a pinch. Okay, that is my party brownies, my picnic brownies, whatever you want to use with it. It's good to have. It's good in a pinch. Ah. There we go, folks. Enjoy when you make them. I know you will be, and everybody will be happy. I should have brought some chocolate sprinkles. Next time you see us, we'll be at our table.
Well, welcome back to our table, program number 282. I made a kind of an interesting skillet meal today. We're taping this in the middle of February, and it's kind of like a comfort food. It was a recipe from Giada De Laurentiis of the Food Channel with a few interesting ingredients. And I started out with browning a pound of Italian sausage. They come in the links, then you take the casings off. After that was browned well, I put in, it called for a red onion, a small one, sliced, and let that cook down with the sausage. And meanwhile, I had boiled tube-type pasta. I used thin ziti, and the recipe called for a pound to cook. Well, I cooked about a half a pound, and then when I put this recipe together, I only used a quart to a third of a pound of the pasta, the ziti. So you have to, make your adjustments of too much pasta. It would have been too much pasta for a whole pound. But that was set aside, and I saved a cup of the pasta water. So after the onion was cooked down in the sausage, I added either 2 Golden Delicious or Honeycrisp apples that I sliced thin. Well, they were good-sized apples, so when I was putting it together, I I had sliced the both of them. And to hold them, because I did it early, I put water with lemon juice, covered it, and that kept them from getting brown. I only used a little over 1 apple, a little over into the second apple, and then cooked that down. I have some larger slices, different sizes of, slice them thin. So we cooked that down, and then I added the pasta and the cup of pasta water. And the recipe calls for to make kind of a creamy sauce at the end. After I also had put in about 2 cups of, I use leaf spinach. The recipe calls for arugula, which I don't personally care for. So I used fresh spinach. To top it off, to make kind of a creaminess to it, the recipe calls for 3 ounces of Gorgonzola cheese, picante. That's kind of the Italian blue cheese flavored. Well, I changed that and I got goat cheese. So I stirred in about 3 ounces of goat cheese and melted it in. And what you see white on top here is a little bit left over of, I crumbled the goat cheese on top. So that is that skillet pasta with sausage, apple, spinach, and goat cheese for me. Now I'll turn it over to Gordy.
Today I made what I call party brownies because they're I usually make them for picnics or parties or whatever, or wherever they're needed. And I make them out of Duncan Hyde's cake brownie mix. I always use their label. I just love Duncan Hines. There's 2 eggs, 1/4 a cup of water, and 1/2 a cup of oil in there, and I baked them. And then I cooled them down a little bit, and I made some frosting of box of confectionery sugar, a pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of cocoa, and a stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of milk, and I mixed them all together and made a chocolate frosting, and this is what they look like. If anybody would like any of these recipes, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Dalton Community Cable, 151 Park Avenue, Dalton, Mass. And that's all from us today. Have a great day.